Although I love to come home to the smell of a crock pot of fresh soup cooking, I don't like eating leftovers once they're frozen, and I can't eat a whole crock pot of soup fast enough before it goes bad without freezing it. So I came up with a simple way to make a bowl of fresh soup very quickly and without a lot of bother. So whether I grow my veggies in my garden, get them in a food bank haul, find them at my local farmer's market, or buy them from the grocery store, I chop them up and freeze them. I store them in my freezer in that bin on the right, and I take it out when I'm ready to have a fresh bowl of soup. I found that I need to measure 1 cup of veggies for each bowl of soup. If I don't, I'll end up with a massive pot of soup, which is what I'm trying to avoid in the first place. Normally, I add a half a cup of beans and a half a cup of rice, but on this day, I had split yellow peas and rice mixed together. Then I add a cup and a half of water. Next, I season it. I like this G. Washington's golden seasoning and broth. It also comes in brown, but any kind of bouillon would work, or salt. And I like cayenne pepper, but I don't like it that much. So what I do is I dip my finger in the water, dip it into the cayenne pepper, and swirl it around. And that seems to give it enough heat. But each time I make it, I may season it just a bit differently. I have a lot of spices in my cabinet, and whether I use pasta instead of rice or what type of bean I use, it tends to turn out a little bit differently each time I make it. But so far, it's always been delicious. Another thing I like to add is seaweed snacks. Seaweed is great for the thyroid. It contains iodine. It's an antioxidant, and it's great for the digestive system and the heart. So I'm happy to have this. So most of my meals consist of soups made similar to this. They're easy to make in a hurry, nutritious, and delicious. It's easier to make a bowl of this soup than it is to run out for fast food. This week I ate bowls of mashed potatoes. I made some potato fritters and some potato pancakes, which were all delicious, but I'm not making much dent in my mashed potatoes. So I donated 4 packages of it, and I feel pretty good about that. Besides all those packages of mashed potato flakes that I have a half of a 10-pound bag of potatoes, and I got some potatoes from the food bank. I have way too many potatoes. And little Miss Frostina here is no help at all. Her vet said that she was not to eat any more potatoes or rice, so I stopped putting it in her dog food. She went from 9 pounds when I got her almost a year ago to almost 17 pounds. She's almost doubled her weight. But I'm happy to say that just by eliminating potatoes in her diet, she has lost 2 pounds in the last 2 months. Okay, so back to what I ate. I had my canned green beans. I had some cheesy potatoes that I made from part of that 10-pound bag of potatoes that's left. And in the freezer, I had some vegan ham that I made to eat for Thanksgiving. It tasted pretty good when you salted it. It didn't have enough salt in it, so I'm going to try that recipe again. Here I had some spaghetti sauce on some ramen noodles with some leftover vegan Italian meatballs that I made. Those turned out really well. I've got about 3 servings left, but I'm going to make more when they're gone. On this day, I made a quick salad. I had some leftover celery leaves and stems, some green olives, a can of tuna, which I drained well, and then I added a tablespoon of real lemon to it. This was really good. I never would have thought to make it. It's just that I had these things to use up, but I'm definitely going to make this again. Although I eat mostly vegan foods, I do eat canned tuna and salmon and sometimes even beef. Like on this day, I cut up an uncured all-beef hot dog and put it into my cheesy potatoes, which I had with some canned fruit cocktail. Now, I never do eat dairy products. When I say cheesy, I mean the vegan cheese that I make with rice and beans. Yep, you heard it. Rice and bean cheese. Be sure to like and subscribe for that recipe. I found one lonely slice of lentil loaf in the back of my freezer, I opened a can of potatoes that I fried up, and I had some canned pears for dinner that night, along with my glass of ice water. I always drink ice water with meals, almost always, that is. And that's about it. The rest of the time, I just had soup. I didn't take a picture of it every time. I did eat a lot of the expired canned goods out of the box that I have, and I mainly just want to get rid of that for now. And don't worry, I did inspect them for freshness before eating them. And that's all I have for today. My channel is mostly about eating for one. I do have food pantry hauls, shopping hauls, and some visits with my little bratty dog. Some walks through my balcony garden. If you're interested in any of those things, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.